Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to continue on the journey of sharing with you why faith has been so important and remains, even to this day, important to me in my life and not only in business, and how making practical application with these timeless truths can truly change your life and your experience as it did mine. I'm going to start by answering a question that was asked a long time ago in a very famous song that most of you would know, and that is, "What's love got to do with it?" That's right. What's love got to do with it? And it was just a simple emotion. But no, love has quite a bit of application in business. And many people say love would have no place in business, and the business and love really can't go together. And when you think about it, you can understand that to some degree because it's been misused and perverted and redefined, and we just flippantly throw out the word love and we just say, "I love you." And so it has lost its meaning often and has been misapplied or is only thought to be applicable in a very, very intimate and personal way. But I'm reminded when I speak of faith and business, there was just a truth that was given, and that said, love your neighbor as yourself. And so there it is. Love your neighbor as yourself. And so then I asked myself when I came across this truth of it was even actually a command to love my neighbor as myself. And I say, who's my neighbor? And at the time, I'm running and managing a logistics business. And so the application is your neighbor or is whoever's around you, they're your neighbor. And directly, specifically, the people who were under the employ of our organization. And at that point in time, I was managing a logistics company. And so while they may have the official title of being an employee, they actually were my neighbor. And then there's scenarios where I've worked in other organizations and I had to report to people. So they were the people that I report to would be my neighbor. You may say that's my boss, but he's also your neighbor. And so using that as the application is love your neighbor as yourself. Those who you work alongside of, those in whom I report to, or those in whom I report to me. That would be my neighbor as I understood this application. So aside from just being there in the book, the Bible or scripture, I just want to take a basic, practical, pragmatic look of love your neighbor as yourself and the application. And this found in scripture, and it's found in the book of Corinthians. And whether you agree with faith or a person of faith or not, just watch these simple truths. It's interesting how it opens up in the last passages of 12, and it says, "And now I will show you the most excellent way." And I'm thinking about excellence, and people talk about in search of excellence, and you hear about doing things excellently. And so here we see the writer is saying, "And now I'm showing you the most excellent way." And then he goes on to say, "If I speak in the tongues of men, of angels, and have not love, I'm only a resounding gong." And so he basically is saying and is telling me that if I'm managing and working in the workplace and I have all of these wonderful gifts, but do not love, then I'm just making noise. You go into a room and you have all of these profound truths and wisdom that you want to pass over to your staff. But if you have not loved and you don't care and love for the people that you are speaking to, you're just making noise. And then it furthers that. It says if you have the gift of prophecy and you can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if you can have faith that can move mountains. And once again, if you're a great visionary, you're a great individual, you have all of this experience, all this knowledge, and then it goes on to say something that resounded with me. It says, if I have faith that can move mountains, you just really believe in your organization, you believe in what you're doing, but you have not love, then it goes, it's amazing. It says, then I am nothing. And then it gives, if I give all I possess to the poor and surrender my bodies to the flame, is exactly what that passage said. So if I'm doing all these great things, if you're great in philanthropy, if your organization is doing great thing in the marketplace, if it's doing great things helping people out, but it does not come along with love, it actually is an amazing statement. It says you gain nothing. So actually, I'm doing all these things. I'm helping people. We're making contributions. We're great in philanthropy. We're giving discounts, but we're supposed to get a return and it's supposed to be a benefit. But if it's not done with love, then there's no gain. Then it says this: love is patient, love is kind. That's amazing, isn't it? What would it be like if with my staff, I was just patient and their work and kind? What would it be like if with vendors and suppliers that we were patient, if especially, and I understand business is about execution, but giving people an opportunity to execute and being patient with people who are really wanting to try, really wanting to be helpful. What it would be like if you were patient, what it would be like if you were kind. And I understand when people make mistakes, I understand when things fall through the cracks, but still, what would it be like if you were kind? So love is patience, love is kind. Then it says it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. What would it be like, I thought, in the workplace, and how it just changed everything for me when I saw what we would say in business is a good thing, and it is, and that's competition, but not envious of competitors or envious of my peers. What would it be like of people that I was working around and I'm in business meetings and we're trying to transact, or you're in a conference room and you're not envious. So it's not envious, it's not boast, it's not proud. What would it be like? And this just changed everything for me, that I'm in meetings and I'm not boasting about self. I'm not trying to put myself up, or I'm not taking pride particularly in myself. It just changed everything. So it does not envy, it does not boast, it's not proud. And if everybody came along on this train, it would be an amazing culture that you would have developed. So it says it did not envy, it does not boast, it's not proud. Then it says this: it's not rude, it's not self-seeking, it's not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrong. Isn't that amazing that you could be in a place that you can adopt a lifestyle? What would business be like if you're not envious? It is not rude, it's not self-seeking, it's not easily angered. People just, they get angry. They're demanding. They want to get their point across. They're easily angered. And then how many meetings I've been into, and people, they always want to they want to bring up your faults, but they don't see their own faults. And quite frankly, we shouldn't be bringing up, certainly not publicly, one another's faults. And so it says, it is not envy, it is not boast, it is not proud, it is not easily angered, and then it keeps no record of wrong. Just, I'm always remembering what you did. You dropped the ball. The supplier dropped the ball. So it keeps no records of wrong. But it does give me what I should do. It does not delight in evil, but it rejoices with the truth. How many times have I been in meetings and I've been hearing about something that just didn't go right, and then or a competitor may have fallen, gone out of business, or been destroyed. And while maybe there's reasons, and maybe good reasons, but we still should not rejoice in the downfall of other people. Maybe we rejoice that they may no longer, or we're happy, and then you should do it publicly, that that somebody who is doing something destructive is no longer doing it. But it says they did not rejoice in evil. We certainly don't participate when bad things happen to other people and we rejoice in it. But it says it does rejoice in the truth. And that's one of the things that just really changed my life, my approach in business, what was happening in our business, is that I was able to not delight in evil, but rejoice in the truth. So this application of the most excellent way changed my life. This is just part one of the installment. I want to give you part two of the installment of faith in business and answering what love has to do with it. I'll see you next time.